Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. Now, I know it's been a little bit since I was able to post a video here to YouTube. I was actually on vacation for the last week and was unable to record any content here, but it's okay. There's not been much going on in Splinterlands, right? So no, we know that's not true. There's been a ton going on in Splinterlands, but I think the best is yet to come. And today I want to talk about some specific observations and predictions around SPS and why I think the cavalry is coming as it pertains to SPS and why the future is very bright for the token and overall Splinterlands ecosystem and marketplace. So let me first preface by saying that I don't have any inside information. This is not financial advice. This is just my take on a recent video that was actually just published, I believe, today on the NYC NFT conference. And I'm going to provide a link to that video in the video description below. It's definitely a video that I highly recommend you view as a Splinterlands interested party. But let me give you, I guess, kind of a quick summary of what was talked about. It was actually a speech that Agro gave to NYC NFT just recently, and it was a 10-minute speech, but it covered a lot of ground. And you can see on this picture here, taken from the video, one of the directives of the Splinterlands goal and vision moving forward is to expand games into sports, music, and casino. And there's obviously a strategy behind why they're doing that. And let me just first segue into what Agro said specifically around the casino aspect of this vision and strategy, and then we'll tie it all back into how it makes a difference for the sports, music games, as well as the SPS token and why it's so important. So let's listen to Aggie here.
We're going to build some casino-style games, and these things are kind of funky, but we can use principles of staking and NFTs and tokens so that it will feel like you are playing your typical casino games, but we can do this in ways that there's no risk of loss. And that's kind of revolutionary in terms of like how these games might work. But it's fun from a regulatory standpoint. It allows us to operate in a lot of different places, and one of the things that I really like about it is that like there's not a lot of people in the world that just instinctively know how to play Splinterlands. It's complicated, it's tricky, and but a lot of people know how to play blackjack and poker and these games that are just like, you know, common in every single household in nearly every single country. So I think there's some low barrier to entry when we start getting into some of these other games that make it even easier for players that are not familiar with crypto and NFTs and all that to get into this ecosystem.
So that is a very revealing clip, I think. And when you replay that, what did Aggie say? He basically said that staking, DeFi, NFTs all have a way of making a casino game basically able to get past any regulations or any country-specific kind of legalese that would be a problem because there's no losses in the way that Splinterlands would roll this out. So how could this possibly work? So walk with me here and imagine this scenario. So Splinterlands launches a new game. Let's just call it, for the sake of this argument, Splinterlands Casino. It features standard casino games that we all know how to play or have some experience with: blackjack, poker, slots, roulette, craps, etc. But the difference between Splinterland Casino and your traditional brick and mortar casino or online casino is the goal of the Splinterlands Casino is not to make money. But let's park that thought. I know it's a crazy thought, right? Why would we have a casino that doesn't have a goal of making money? But again, park that. We'll come back to that and the objectives of Splinterlands Casino in just a little bit. But again, imagine when you first log in to Splinterlands Casino, you find 25 Splinter chips in your pocket to wager, and every minute you spend in the game, you get more free Splinter chips, up to, let's say, 100 per day for free just for playing the game. Now, with these 25 Splinter chips that you have in your pocket as you enter the game for the first time, let's say you step up to the poker table and imagine yourself to be like a World Series of Poker caliber player, and you play some hands. And let's say at the end of your session, you go bust. But no worries, this is where Splinter chips are free, and you can come back tomorrow and try your luck again. Or you could take a token called SPS, and by having that, purchasing it, and staking it, it could provide you more free Splinter chips on a daily basis at an accelerated rate with maybe no limits to the amount of Splinter chips you could earn in Splinterlands Casino. Now, obviously, this would be based on how much SPS you stake, similar to the SPS staking rewards in Splinterlands today, but instead of rewarding you an SPS back, you would actually get Splinter chips. Now, existing Splinterlands players who have staked SPS would gain some nice free benefits from this, well, namely free Splinter chips daily, and obviously this might sound familiar to Splinterlands players. So now that you have staked some SPS and you've got, let's say, an additional 50 Splinter chips, let's say now you go to the roulette table and put it all on black, and guess what? You win. Now you have 100 Splinter chips in your pocket. But I mean, what can you actually do with these Splinter chips? They need to have some intrinsic value for you to want to play the casino games to try and win more of them, right? So let's listen to what Agro had to say about the future vision here of the ecosystem of Splinterlands.
Ultimately, where all of this is going, after we kind of get the landing place, which is Splinterlands, that people are familiar with, that, it's one of the most played blockchain games in the world. We start branching out into sports and casinos and music so that we can bring all these different games here. And we build that ourselves so that we help with that transition and help people figure out how does it work. And we learn ourselves, how does this work when you're supporting more than one game, and what are the nuances of that. Kind of once we have a handle on that, then we really get to open this thing up to the broader world where everybody gets to participate. And future, I look at companies like Zynga or other Facebook games or Snapchat games or whatever, they're going to need places and ways that they can come over and build in this space. Platforms like Unity or Unreal Engine, they can build all these Web 2.0 games all day, but it's hard to imagine how they scale into Web 3. And if we as a company are able to tell them, hey, look, we're going to help you build a DeFi game in a box that has everything you need, and you just come and participate with us, I think we'll get some of the biggest game producers in the world to work in our ecosystem. So that's what we're working on. We want to be a world-class game studio, signing some of the best IP in the world, and build a platform and like a marketplace for games where anybody that wants to create this stuff can come together. So that's where we're going, and thanks for your time and attention.
So that is a very interesting vision of the future of these Splinterlands economy and combined ecosystem. By having no way to lose actual money, like in a traditional casino environment, there are no regulations to violate. The Splinterlands Casino only takes SPS staking deposits and hands out NFTs that can be exchanged for Splinter chips that anyone can get for free just for playing in the Splinterlands Casino, or by getting them through SPS staking rewards in the Splinterlands Casino. So it's basically the Splinterlands Casino is acting as a connected marketing store, giving away exclusive NFTs, but no one is actually losing money in the casino, as you can't technically buy Splinter chips. In this case, the Splinter chips aren't on the blockchain. They just exist in the game, connected to the Splinterlands or Hive account in the game itself, and they're only given away and subsequently burned when exchanged for exclusive marketing NFTs. And by the way, these NFTs have utility in other connected Splinterlands ecosystems games. So what does the casino accomplish here in this particular case for Splinterlands? Well, one, it adds value to SPS by encouraging the purchase, hodling, and staking of the SPS token. It brings new value and benefits to existing Splinterlands players and assets holders as benefit number two. Thirdly, it also brings in new non-Splinterlands players via simple casino games and introduces them to Splinterlands and the Splinterlands ecosystem of games. And lastly, it helps these new players get onboarded into crypto in a frictionless way. For example, through free Splinter chips in the Splinterlands Casino, and eventually getting them to potentially purchase SPS tokens and stake those on the Hive blockchain. And let's also just play a clip here of Aggroed as he talks about the benefit, a unique benefit that would be very interesting for the Hive blockchain in the Splinterlands ecosystem.
One of the things that's amazing about blockchain is that it can all be single sign-on. So that when we get players in Splinterlands and we get players in soccer and football and basketball and baseball and rugby and maybe cricket, which is bigger over in international areas, you know, all of these fans for all these sports will have a common login to all these different games, and we'll be able to go bring everybody into this one core ecosystem to participate.
So what you heard there was an interesting pitch for Hive, which Splinterlands is obviously based upon right now. And you know, if Hive continues to be the single sign-on for accounts and assets on the NFT front for the entire Splinterlands ecosystem and future marketplace, well, that definitely also bodes well for Hive in addition to SPS. So there you have it, some interesting clips from Aggroed's recent NYC NFT speech, as well as some potential predictions coming out of that on what might come. Now, obviously, I don't know specifically how Matt and Aggroed will implement the whole DeFi, staking, and NFT concepts into casino, but this could definitely be one type of model that could be used to bring value to the SPS token and the overall Splinterlands asset holders and economy. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, keep stacking those stats.
That's entertainment.